Okay friends, it is time. I've chosen my May TBR. I was going to choose it with you, but if I'm being completely transparent, I am just so indecisive. I don't think that would have gone well. But there are currently 8 books on my May TBR, and we are going to talk about all of them. Now, I did choose a different direction this month because last month I decided I wanted to read all series and it did not go well. I only read 2 series out of the 4 I wanted to read, and they weren't even part of that list. So this month I'm taking the standalone approach. I also decided I needed to be focusing on arcs. I've gotten so many since we started the year, and I've only read 1 of them maybe. I've read all of my digital arcs. It's the physical arcs I'm lacking on. I also think I'm going to do a video where I spend a week only reading arcs. I am definitely going to be starting the month out with Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. I am so relieved to be holding this book. The process of getting it was very stressful. So I'd requested it back in January, I believe. HarperCollins is so lovely, and they emailed me back telling me I was already on their list. But then April comes and I've still not got the physical copy of it. So I just thought it got lost in the mail. I wasn't sure what to do because when they emailed me, they told me they were planning on sending them out that week. Turns out they didn't. And now I've got 2 copies of it. I am in no way complaining. I am so excited because now I can actually annotate it and not just tab it. So essentially the book that comes before it, Secretly Yours, I also read as an arc and I just absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So I am definitely excited to read this one. But it follows Natalie Voss, Julian's sister from the previous book. She's just lost her job and her fiance, so she moves back home. And after an excruciating couple of months grieving her past life, she's gonna go girl boss it up. She needs her trust fund to finance a new business venture. But in good old rom-com nature, she can't get her trust fund unless she marries someone. Tessa Bailey absolutely spoils us with these tropes. But she's so desperate that she's willing to propose to a man. Enter August. He owns a vineyard but knows nothing about wine. It is just terrible. Being as Natalie's family owns a vineyard and is actually very fluent when it comes to making wine, they don't get along very well. None of the banks are gonna give him a loan, but they end up coming to the conclusion that a sham of a marriage could solve both of their problems, naturally. I would love to be in this position, but neither one of them expected their undeniable chemistry and attraction. I'm not sure how this is gonna compare to Secretly Yours. I'm bound to like one of them more than the other, but it breaks my heart believing that because they both just comfort me. Everything about Tessa's writing is just so cozy. Then we've got Dark Succession by Kaylee Robert. I've never read any of her work, so I am very excited to try. I requested this from Forever Publishing, and I most definitely was not expecting them to send it to me. I am well aware she's a popular author, so I am very excited. It's also only 327 pages. Not even. It's 318 because the rest of the pages are an introduction to her next novel. But look at the text. It's very large, so I think this is going to be a nice transition read. I've actually not read the blurb yet. I totally forgot what it was about. So you and I are both in for a surprise. Dark, dangerous, and seething with scandal. Is this a dark romance? It sort of insinuates that. No way! Teague O'Malley hates everything associated with his family's name, and when his father orders him to marry Calista Sheridan to create a business alliance, Teague's ready to cut ties once and for all. Is this about to be another marriage of convenience? Very convenient for me. He sees the bruises on her neck and the trauma in her eyes. Miss Girl is going through it. Vows he will do everything in his power to avenge her. A true man. Everyone knows the O'Malleys are dangerous, are they? Callie's keeping a dark secret. And what Teague doesn't know can get him killed. Whoa, this is definitely a dark romance. I am so excited. I'm sort of entering my dark romance era. Slowly but surely, I thought I was going to read that one series by Danielle Laurie. I started it on Kindle Unlimited By started, I was just skimming it to see if I was interested. I am not. I am most definitely not. I just don't think dark romance is for me, but I am so open to trying it. There's bound to come an author that is going to change my mind. A.L. Jackson actually introduced me to dark romance. I absolutely loved the Redemption Hill series, so I'm definitely not going to close myself off to the possibility. Then we've got Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I've never read any of her books. I was very surprised when this showed up at my door. They sent it to me on my birthday. I've seen so many raving reviews about this book. I think this is going to be the perfect introduction to her writing. I am also not sure what it is about, so we're gonna read it together. First impressions, hilarious second chances, and the joy in finding your perfect match. That's so cute. Dr. Brianna Ortiz. Okay, she's a doctor. Women in STEM. I love it. Her divorce is just about finalized. Her brother's running out of time to find a kidney donor. What? Oh my god. She just dumped that on us and kept going. Wow. And that promotion she wants? Oh, that's probably going to the new Man Doctor. Play the Man by Taylor Swift. No, it's time to go by Taylor Swift. I am livid. Oh, is she competing with this male doctor? I don't want to like him. I can't do the vying for promotion trope. He sends Brianna a letter. And it's a really good letter. Like the kind that proves that Jacob isn't actually Satan. That's reassuring. Oh no. He's just terrible at first impressions. He's actually a kind person. Then they're exchanging letters, sharing lunch dates in her sock closet. I need a sock closet. That's actually genius. Oh my god, what? He decides to give Brianna the best gift imaginable, a kidney for her brother. He's down so bad. What? Okay, I will admit it sounds very intriguing. Oh my goodness. Miss Emily Henry promoting the book. I'm already gonna love it. If Miss Emily Henry loves it, I love it. No doubt about it. Okay, then we've got The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I've needed to read this for several months. I got it in January, I believe, and it comes out in May. May 16th, 2023. So I do believe I'm probably going to read this at the beginning of the month. So essentially it's all about Fizzy, a romance novelist. That's actually why I requested the book. And single dad, Connor Price, who is also a documentary filmmaker. He loves his work mostly because it allows him to live close to his daughter, but because his boss is just eyeing the profit, he tells Connor he needs to create a reality TV show. Connor is just out of his element. He's desperate to find his romantic lead. Enter Fizzy Chen. Now she's been asked to give a commencement address. She is now well aware she's lacking experience when it comes to romance. She's come to the conclusion that she's been in lust, not in love. So when the two of them cross paths, she tells him, no, I'm not gonna do your reality TV show unless you meet this list of demands. Girl boss move. When he agrees to it, what did they name the show? The True Love Experiment. I've only read The Unhoneymooners and Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I absolutely loved Love in Other Words. It is a book that is so near and dear to my heart, but I was not there for The Unhoneymooners. I rated that book 3 stars. So I'm very intrigued to see where this book lies on the Christina Lauren scale. It's a little longer. It's almost 400 pages, but the text is also a little larger. Next is Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. I've never read anything by this author before, but I read the blurb on NetGalley and absolutely wanted to try it. So I emailed Putnam about it and they sent me one. So I am very grateful for that. It is just so much easier to read physical copies of books, especially when they're ARCs. It makes it easier to share with my audience. I'm just going to give you the blurb at the beginning of the synopsis. An unforgettable love story with an earth-shattering secret at its core that asks the question, is love worth risking everything for? Tell me that does not sound like a book you want to read. So the story starts with Ren realizing her fiance is in love with someone else. being the angst lover that I am absolutely living for it. Then we've got Anders that lost his wife 4 years ago and is still struggling to move on. Ren is going to spend the summer with her dad and stepfamily, hoping to heal. On their farm in Indiana is actually where Ren and Anders meet, but, and I quote, Ren doesn't know that Anders is harboring a secret, and if he acts on any feelings he has for Ren, it will have serious fallout for everyone. I am so curious as to what that means. What is it he telling us other than he lost his wife 4 years ago? Was it his fault? I think it was his fault. Now, this would not be a proper TBR video without the Chestnut String series by Elsie Silver. I say that because it's been in every TBR video I've ever done. I've still yet to read it. It isn't because I don't want to read it. I am so desperate to read it. That being said, I know my world is going to be shattered once I do. It is currently still being written. I started reading Flawless at some point in February. I think I stopped because there was an arc that Valentine PR sent me that needed to be read and reviewed that same week. But I just absolutely loved every sentence that I did read. I am not prepared to be emotionally invested in this series. I was watching the Golden Girls last night while I was editing, and during one of the commercial breaks, there was one about a small rodeo town. It sent me over the edge. It was a sign. I need to read the series this month. I'll probably read it at the end of the month though. Maybe. I'll try to read it sooner though. So Flawless is the first book in the series, and it follows Rhett, a professional bull rider that needs to clean up his image. Enter his agent's daughter. She's going to be supervising him. I will give you 2 sentences. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. There are boundaries he wants to cross that she won't. It is giving forbidden romance. Then we've got Heartless. This is a grumpy single dad nanny romance. Oh my god. We're also matching. Not only that, there's an age gap. 13 years. Miss Taylor Swift's lucky number. When do they cross the line? During a game of truth or dare. In his hot tub. They become closer than either one of them expects, but her contract ends in 2 months. I already think this is probably going to be my favorite in the series. I say that, but then we've got Powerless, a childhood friends to lovers romance. So essentially Sloane's life is in shambles, or so she believes, when everything that could go wrong on her wedding day does. So enter best friend Jasper saving the day. They decide to go on a road trip together, but the more time they spend together, the lines start to blur. Now, he is a hockey heartthrob. Now, I've been looking for more hockey romances because I just read Mile High by Liz Tomford. You guessed it, it follows an NHL player. Our feelings aren't straightforward though. They twist and turn around the pain of his past and the reality of my present. Jasper acts like he wants me, but after years of turning me away, he's gonna need to prove it. Pining, say less. Make the man grovel. Well, friends, those are all of the books I want to read in May. Or should I say all of the books I plan to read in May. I want to read all of my books in May. I've just got this sudden urge to read through my entire physical TBR, but I keep getting distracted by Kindle Unlimited. It is the best and worst thing to ever happen to my life. A lot of the authors I've been discovering lately are just so lovely, and their entire backlist is available on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm trying to not let it tempt me. But that being said, let me know what books you're planning on reading in May. I'd love to also know what you read in April. If you've got any book recommendations for me, you can DM me over on my Bookstagram. I also post daily on my book talk if you're looking for more of my content. If you want to see what I'm currently reading, you can go check me out over on Goodreads. I do also post all of my written, in-depth reviews over there. If you want to read with me, I've got a book club over on Fable. It's called Lessons in Love, and I am so excited to share that we are currently reading Happy Place by Miss Emily Henry. It was close there, but I am just head over heels to be sharing this and reading it with everyone. It is my favorite standalone of all time. Not even just Emily Henry book. Out of all of the books I've ever read, it is my favorite standalone. So, as always, I love you all and happy reading.